Am I the asshole for refusing to have a fully child-free wedding? So I recently proposed to my long-term girlfriend, and we are planning for a wedding in summer next year. Everything is still very early stages. My fiancée has expressed that she wants a child-free wedding, which I am all down for, but I want to make one expectation: my son. I had him from a previous relationship and we have evenly split custody of him. Until now my fiancée has gotten along great with him. We've had days out as a family, she's gone to see his games, he plays ice hockey, and she's even taken him out on fun days, just the two of them. I brought up that I wanted to make an exception to the no kids rule for my son. She shot the idea down straight away and said that she didn't want anyone under 16 there, as she doesn't want to feel like she or anyone else has to babysit on her special day. I told her that no one would have to babysit him. He's 15 and she knows he's well behaved and a generally quiet kid. She then changed her reasoning and asked why I wanted my old family and life on the day I was supposed to making a commitment to her and our new family. I told her while I will be making a commitment to her, my son will still very much be my son and my family. She then equated it to wanting my ex at our wedding, which I do not and never asked. I told her that I don't care about the aesthetics of the wedding, and that she can pick everything else: the food, the aesthetic, the music, the dress, but all I want is my family at the wedding, my parents, my sisters and my son. That is my only ultimatum when it comes to our wedding. She started calling me controlling by giving me an ultimatum and said I had initially agreed to a child-free wedding and now I'm gaslighting her. I said we can have a mainly child-free wedding, but with this one exception, an expectation that guests can't even complain about being unfair since the only child is the son of the groom. She called me a dick and is now not talking to me. I really think this is a reasonable want, but maybe I'm not seeing something. So am I the asshole? Not the asshole. There is a giant red flag on the play here. Your son is your son, he's not going anywhere. Asked why I wanted my old family and life on the day I was supposed to making a commitment to her and our new family, she seems to be under some sort of illusion your relationship with your son will change when you're married to her. You need to resolve this or very seriously reconsider. Blended families are tough, and I think she has a fantasy in mind. You're not fitting into it, because you have a history she isn't able to contend with. Not the asshole. She then changed her reasoning and asked why I wanted my old family and life on the day I was supposed to making a commitment to her and our new family. Your fiancé just showed her hand. She considers your son part of your old life, and your old family. That little slip-up may very well mean she is only tolerating your son and will start trying to push him aside once you're married, not to mention favoring any children you have with her over him. I would think very carefully about whether this is the woman you want to marry or not after her ultimatum. She wants to exclude your son from your wedding. Read that again. Now think about, if this is how she is before marriage, imagine how much emotional damage she will do to that poor child after marriage. She wants to exclude him from your life. This is just the start. Don't go through with this wedding. Your fiancé is being controlling, gaslighting you, and showing you exactly how she will behave if you are married. She doesn't want your son in the picture and will do everything she can to ruin what relationship you have with him. She equates him being at your wedding to your ex being there. Your son your ex to her, and you will end up wondering why you're in a miserable marriage and never see your son anymore. Not the asshole. She's TA. Why are you going through with getting married to a person who thinks your son is your old family? That's a massive red flag and I would end the relationship immediately. Your son should come first, and if she's not willing to actually accept and embrace him, you should not be bringing her into his life. Dude, you can't marry someone who calls your child your old family. She has no interest in him. That's not healthy for a kid-teen. If you marry someone who doesn't want him around next, she'll demand that she be your sole inheritor and promise to make sure your son is taken care of in the event of your death. Dude, she doesn't want your kid around. She called him being there babysitting. Yet to marry her. You're right, you're not seeing something. You're not seeing the giant red flag your fiancée is waving in your face. She says your son is your past and she is your new family. If she was mine, she'd now be in the rear view mirror for so badly disrespecting my son and our relationship. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Major red flags. Child-free in most people's minds typically wouldn't include those in HS. Why is she cool with a 16-year-old but not 15? If that's true, you could say okay, no problem sweetie. Well, just have to make sure the wedding is after son's birthday so he can come and smile away. Note: I wouldn't actually recommend this nuclear fight starter, but she's got a big problem coming that you need to talk through. Don't marry her. Obviously your son is not her priority and she probably will suggest having him live with his mother permanently. Don't do it. Not the asshole. This is a major red flag. What she wants is you without your son. I suspect she will try to reduce the time you spend with him, eventually having him live permanently with his mother after the wedding. Don't marry her. Don't put her above your own flesh and blood. Not the asshole. Big red flag. I would not marry that woman. Why? You want your old family son at your wedding. Your son is your life and family, not the old family. She will ever have a problem with your son. I don't think this is a good start into the marriage. Also, her response is a big red flag. The relationship between you and your son will get massively damaged if you let this pass. Fucking everyone will be around. I cannot express the feeling he will feel when this happens. Pull the plug. It's not too late. This will lead to divorce in a few years, especially if you are earning more money as she and you are a wallet for her. WTF? You are going to marry a woman who doesn't want your own son at your wedding? I'd think hard before marrying her, and also before uninviting your teenage son. He's 15 years old. He's obviously going to understand and be horribly hurt by being not invited to his own father's wedding. I can't even believe you are asking this question here. Not the asshole. And frankly, your fiancé is waving a couple of huge red flags. Her equating your son to your ex is alarming. You didn't get divorced from him. He is still properly part of your family and life going forward. She wants to shut him out starting from the wedding. Going straight to accusations of abuse, i.e. you are controlling, gaslighting her, making offense the best defense, is an extremely bad sign for the future. You need to focus on these red flags and what they really mean. Don't focus on the deck chairs when you may be heading toward a couple of icebergs. Not the asshole. All the reasoning she gave you are massive red flags to me. None of them make sense, of not just as petty excuses to not have your son there. I repeat, your son. Personally, she is the controlling one and en route to be the evil stepmother of the year. You are still on time to run from her. Well, wedding's off. Suggest you move on. You've just caught a glimpse of the rest of your life otherwise. Break the engagement. If I were in your shoes, I couldn't bear not having my only child at my big day. And on top of that, she gets along with him any other time. But oh, if you want to invite your only child, it's gonna ruin everything. And he's not really a child, he's a teenager. He should know right from wrong. Plus, if she starts gaslighting about the wedding itself, just ignore her and cut off all contact. I couldn't stand somebody like her. Major red flags on her insults. Nata. Not the asshole. JFC, this woman doesn't want your own son at your wedding. Not the asshole. For the love of God, do not marry someone who isn't willing to have your child at your wedding. She doesn't want him in your wedding, then she doesn't really want him in your life. She calls him your old family, like you are gonna have a new family with her and not need the old one anymore. Don't be yet another "am I the asshole?" crappy parent picking their partner over their kid. Not the asshole. Major red flags. She might become a good wife, but I'm not sure she'll be a good stepmom in spite of what she's showing right now. She'll continue saying your son symbolizes your ex-wife's presence in your lives. If you care about your kid, strongly reconsider whether you want to go through with this. Do not, I repeat, do not marry this woman. She's going to want you to dump your son the moment she gets pregnant. She disgusting.